We can all say together, Happy Diwali.
Happy
Happy
Diwali.
Diwali. Uh, Thank you so much for taking time out today to be with us this evening to celebrate Diwali. Diwali is the festival of lights. What is a light? We are lights. I was just thinking today this thing, like in order for us to um, lighten up a candle or something, we need a lighter. We need an igniter, something that ignites a light. I can't just produce a light without igniting it. Now, in these times, we all need the light. What kind of light do we need? The light of hope, the light of love, the light of peace, the light of goodness. All that light which is there latent inside the being is all covered up by all these extra layers that are there. We all want to light up our inner world. And for that, we need a lighter. And the lighter is sitting right here. so, so let us welcome our dear angel, Sister Dorothy. I've known Sister Dorothy for around 17 years now. Since I came here to US, and I'll really say that on my spiritual journey, one of the main influences I've had is from Sister Dorothy. She's really, her practice of the soul consciousness, of considering the self as a light, is so strong that, just being in her presence, it just allows us to experience that light instantly. And whenever we meet Sister Dorothy, she always has a big smile on her face. And she always will say, Sister Dorothy, how are you? She'll say, I'm grand. And the way she says it, it just fills the atmosphere with happiness. And at the same time, I've seen a lot of depth in Sister Dorothy. Her sharings, they come from a space of deep practice and realization. At the same time, she's very light. She can just make everything look so easy and simple. And we are really blessed to have this angel here. And suddenly this happened that God sent, and in a couple of weeks, just this whole event was planned. And tonight, we are really in for a treat because she's going to lead us into a beautiful experience of light and how to ignite that beauty that lies within the soul. And so it'll be a meditation experience, it'll be a lot of insights, it'll also be celebration. We'll have fireworks, we'll have food, we'll have everything, we'll have entertainment. So we're in for a treat tonight. So I'll read out a bio, Sister Dorothy. No, let me let me read out your bio. Oh yeah, one more minute. One more minute. Sister Dorothy has been practicing various forms of yoga and meditations for over 50 years. Anyone less than 50 years in the room? I am. Okay. Practicing and teaching Raj Yoga with the Brahma Kumaris for more than 40 years. Her background starts in the field of education to the world of radio. And that's why her voice is, so deep. As an account executive, where she excelled at the top of her field, but soon after her financial success, she realized that money was not the answer. So she quit her job. She ventured off to Israel to find God and the meaning of life. Disillusioned, she ventured back to US and became a business entrepreneur in retail from 79 to 2002 in the lucrative business of blue jeans. Wow. Still searching for truth, she stumbled upon to the doorstep of the Brahma Kumaris in Tampa, Florida in 86. She soon assumed responsibility of directing the affairs of the Brahma Kumaris Center locally, overseeing the opening and functioning of the Brahma Kumaris' first spiritual museum outside India. And she continued conducting her business. And after Peace Village opened in New York, so she's since been serving there. So currently, Sister Dorothy is the director of programs at Peace Village Learning and Retreat Center. She has facilitated retreats for thousands that are seeking self development and improving the quality of their lives. She also acts as one of the main spiritual resources for Peace Village. She travels nationally, internationally, representing the Brahma Kumaris. She's also board member of the Brahma Kumaris USA board. I'm done. I'm done. So let us welcome Sister Dorothy. Do we have a flower? A flower? A flower? Bring a flower. Bring a flower for Sister Dorothy. Yeah, but I can't present myself to you. We need a flower. So, yeah, warm welcome to everyone. This is working.
I put it on.
Yeah, okay. हिंदी ट्रांसलेशन मिलता है Okay, great, awesome.
Anyone else?
Uh-huh. Yeah, please. Yes. So on behalf of all of us, let us welcome Sister Dorothy. Welcome. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Thank you for such a delightful intro. And it's so nice to be here with all of you. We have free upgrades tonight. Do you all like upgrades when you're flying? We have not business class. Today we have first class upgrades. If anyone wants to come on the front row. Free upgrades. Thank you, Sarabhai. That was such a beautiful intro. But what made it so beautiful was your presentation, your presence. I told him and some of the other people I met today that he's like the mother here of Indianapolis. He really is. He has such a nurturing effect on everyone he meets. He's like a mother. So just very naturally. Rajesh Ben, do you need translation a little bit? Yeah. Tora? I know, but some of it you may not. I mean, she speaks good English. Her English is better than mine, even. So I am very pleased to be here. It's my first time in Indianapolis, and I'm so impressed. You know what? I'm impressed with the people. I haven't met a lot of the people yet, but who I've met. But it's not overcrowded, and the expressways are expressways, but they're not jammed up and you have to creep along. So it looks like a big city. The inner foundation, everything is in place, but it just seems to go so smoothly and so easily. I'm moving in next week. So, but I am impressed. So tonight we're talking about Diwali or Deepavali, Indian festival. But I was thinking how this time of the year, there are many festivals of light. There's Christmas with the lights on the tree. There's Hanukkah with the light, the eternal light that never goes out. There's Kwanzaa, and I don't know the details of Kwanzaa, but it's all celebrating light. And it's such a beautiful season to do that because the nights are getting longer, the days are getting shorter. And is that happening also to the history of where we are in the world, right? It's getting darker. So what do you have to do when darkness comes over? You have to put the lights on, obviously. So we have to put the lights on as well. So we're going to address tonight the sacred or symbolic, the spiritual meaning of igniting the light. It's not the light that's within a clay pot with a little wick and oil, but there's significance even in that. What do you think the significance might be even in that? It's a duplication of you. It's a duplication of me. Each one of us, as the brother was saying, each one of us has a light. We are the light. But what would the clay pot symbolize in the diya? The body. This is the body, right? I'm going to ask you a very tricky question, and I'm warning you ahead of time that it's going to be tricky. But I want to see how smart some of you are. How many of you have a soul? How many of you have a soul? Everyone that raised your hand, except me. You didn't get the answer right. We don't have a soul, do we? We are the soul that has the body. There's a big difference in our perception, in our feeling, in our way we decipher the world around us, that we perceive the world and interact within our relationships, within our situations, all of these things. How many of you, to be honest, like to go to the movies? Just one, two, three, that's it? How many of you enjoyed the movies when you used to go to them? Yes? Maybe you stopped going to them now. And what was the joy about the movie? Anyone can answer. You have to speak louder.
Oh, Shanti Didi. So when we go, when for movies, it might be different type of movies. It can be thriller, it can be romantic or whatever, right? So it just depends upon the story and the theme, and also the curiosity, what is going to happen next, that keeps us involved.
Okay. Any other? I couldn't hear part of it. They just put up the volume.
So basically the roles and characters, right? How they play and how the
Oh,
movie
okay.
comes
Yes.
out. It
It's
can be.
interesting, isn't it? It's entertaining.
Mhm. And it can be a thriller movie, it can be like romantic movie or some, depends upon the actors, how they play their part and how the turn goes.
Okay. Very good. Thank you. You know, you can't give a wrong answer because it's your answer. And whatever you say is right. Right for you. Anyone else? What do you think I'm going to say? Do you like to go to the movies, or when you went to the movies, or hear about a story? Do you always like to know that the hero actor wins, that he becomes the hero, right? And it makes us feel so good to see the hero on the stage, on the screen. And he has to go through hardships to be a hero actor, doesn't he? He has to go through challenges. He has to go through trying scenes and events. And that's when he becomes a hero. And how do we feel when he finally wins? Yes, we feel so good inside, don't we? Well, you know, good versus evil, good over evil. It makes us feel good. Why would it make us feel good? Yes, we want to go through the hero's journey and succeed. It's igniting our own heroic me. I'm feeling what that hero actor's feeling. That's me up there. And our heart seems to burst with joy watching that. Good over evil, good over negative. But it's only igniting your hero of your long lost, forgotten memory of when you were a hero. And I have a picture on my computer, but I didn't give it to Sarah, but I was thinking about it when I was on the plane. It's such a cute picture of a little baby, not real little, but maybe under a year, but not just a few months. And he looks so innocent and so joyful and so bright and cheery. You can picture someone you know like that? And what does that invoke in you? Happiness, protection, innocence, purity, joy. All of us were at that time, that stage of being as well. When you were a little baby and you were joyful and just innocent and pure, you were the hero actor. How do we get back to that heroism? We've got to ignite the flame. We've got to make it stronger. How many of you would like to feel like you're the hero again? How many of you would like to feel like you're the bad guy? We are the ones we've been looking for. We look outside for something, for the perfect hero, for the perfect mate, for the perfect job, the perfect car, the perfect house. But the perfection is who we are and how we interact with one another is the proof of who we are. You can sit in meditation and feel grand and holy. But then when you're in a relationship, if you're getting angry, that's not being holy anymore, is it? But the hero actor is always in this holy place because he knows what? He knows he's an actor, right? And we are actors as well. We're human actors in this play that we find ourselves in. So the symbol of just interacting with each other with that soul consciousness. What do I mean when I say soul consciousness? I see all your bodies. Do I see your souls? I don't physically see the souls, but I can, if I look at each and every one of you, I get an experience of who you are. Do you know who I am, young man back there with Palm Springs? I'm not a guru. My question, maybe I should rephrase it. Can you experience who I am through the way I talk, the way I emphasize, the expressions on my face? Okay. I like that we should accept whatever we like. That's very smart. I want you to come up here and finish the lecture.
Okay.
Sarb, you hear that? Next time. So I have a pen here that I purposely brought because I want to do a demonstration. And I would like 5 hero actors to come up here and stand. Thank you, brave one. 2 brave ones. 3. Char, Punch. Aye, aye. Ah, Krishnaben. So, let's see. Because I want them all to stand in a line. No, facing that way. And I'll get to the side. Because I'm going to ask one of you to sit in the seat and finish the lecture. Oh my gosh, I'm going to get away from there. Look at him run. Okay, one line. Straight across, one line. All right. Now you think I'm going to tell them to do something, but you are the actors. I want you to turn up your intellect and watch very closely because I'm going to have him do 2 different things. It's actually the same thing, but differently. Okay? So you are the observers. Observe. Can you see through me? You see perfectly? No glasses? Well, excellent. Thank you. Okay. What I would like you to do is just pass this pen down the. Now pass it back. Thank you. Now I want you to pass the pen again. But the pen is just an object. What's really happening is one soul is giving to another and another soul is receiving. Now I want you to pass the pen, not looking at the pen. They all looked at the pen. You looked at me, but you didn't look at the next one over there. I watched you. I watched every one of you. And I want you to pass the pen like this. Notice, tell me if there's a difference. Just keep watching. You can pass it back. Thank you. Okay, you may sit, take your seat. I might need help with this microphone to put it back. Thank you. What did you notice? The connection. What else? The smile. What? Awareness. Yes, all of these are right. There was a different vibration within them and even the observers. There was a different vibration that was happening. A vibration that was filled with, yes, connection and all of these things that you mentioned, but also a vibration of care, of love, this connection, right? Which one was more joyful to watch? And it allowed you to experience what they were emulating, what they were spreading out, but what they were feeling. And they were giving drishti. Do you have any children? You have grandchildren? So when you have to correct them, do you give them drishti? And do we give drishti when we're just loveful too, right? It's so important. It's a silent communication. And this is what Diwali, Deepavali is about. Igniting the spirit, as Sarabhai was saying, the spirit of love and joy. Igniting that, igniting the peace, being it. And you give gifts during Deepavali, right? Sarab, I don't see my gifts. You stole my line. Because we're so concerned at Christmas, Hanukkah, Deepavali, we give gifts. But we are the gift. That's the biggest gift we can, each one of us give, is give of ourselves in whatever we do, especially when we're communicating with each other. To be aware of who we are communicating with. Any other thoughts on that? It's a silent group. Yes.
Coming from others. So it's a way to encourage each other to have that unique light shine.
Yes, very much so. I
Yeah.
like that. I like that, Irene. And so we have this chance. We do so many things. I know at Peace Village, sometimes we get so task oriented. Here, give me that, do this. What about that? But we have to stop every now and then and really bring back our humanism. Oh, I thought I had my phone with me. I don't. But I was waiting for the flight to take off. I was still in the airport for a few hours, and everyone I saw they were doing this. Even the old guys. I need help. Have we lost our humanness? I think it's even more so than losing our humanness is we've lost our soulfulness because we communicate to each other as souls. You're communicating with me. I don't know your name. I don't know your religion. I know nothing about you. But looking in your eyes, I feel like I know everything about you vibrationally. And that's what I think Deepavali is about. Stoking up that vibration of who we naturally are. Pure love. How many of you are looking for more love? All of you I know have love. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here tonight. But how many would like more love? I'm going to raise my hand. I can never get enough. You saw me looking at you. I'm going to be watching your hand. Does he have a lazy arm? So we raised our hands, right? You want more love? How many want more joy, more happiness, more peace? Yes. When do we don't have enough of it, right? Why don't we have enough of it? Do you think you had that at one time? Do you think you had that? Yes. We only look for something when we've lost it. How many have lost your phone in the last month? Misplaced it, in other words, or your keys? Yes? No one? So that's when you look for it. And the reason we want to look for love and peace and joy and truth is because we had it. We had a beautiful taste of it. And I wish I had that picture of a little baby. But you all can just bring up a picture of someone you know or a picture of a very young child, and you see the joy, right? You see the purity. That was all of us. That was you. And you. And even you. Can we get that back, that ember of love back into our hearts? You just have to be aware and be awake and remember that. Interaction with each other is so vitally important. Not so much the task we do, but within the relationship of what we're doing with each other. That's even more important. We will remember each other not by what we've done, but how others had made us feel. Think about it now. Think about the people you've known so far in your life. Who do you remember the most? What?
Your parents and God.
Your parents and God. That's a nice answer. I like that, especially the God one.
He been there.
Okay. But someone who gives you love, right? Yes. You know, neuroscience, everyone knows what neuroscience is, the study of the brain and the effects of that brain that has on the body, on the heart, on every organ, on the skin, everything. Neuroscience. And you know what they say? That if you smile at someone, they'll smile back. Even if you're walking down the street in New York City. It's really true. But something very magical happens at that moment. When the eyes see someone smiling, the person may not even be conscious. They may be subliminally conscious, subconscious, but not consciously aware that they saw a smile. But the brain picks up the smile that they see, and they just naturally will smile back. But the endorphins in the body, in the brain, raise, the happy hormones in the body raise just by someone smiling. Look how much good you can make just with a smile. I don't mean a phony smile, but something from your heart, a vibration from your heart smile.
Make a person really happy.
What?
You can make another person happy when you give them a smile.
Yes, I want you to make me happy right now. Oh, what a nice smile. Oh, look at you. I love your smile. Okay. You have a doctor here in neuroscience? You are. Do you want to share something? Where's the mic?
You know,
hold on. We want the Zoom people to hear.
I can definitely share one finding, I would say experience, which I think everybody has, is as for example, if you're living in a home, and if suppose one of your, say, granddaughter or grandson, or your daughter or your son comes and just lives with you for a few days, and maybe in those few days, he or she may not talk to you too much, but the mere presence of the
Yes.
person, the mere the movement of the person around you, creates an immense happy feeling, a feeling of
Yes.
joy. So I think that what you're saying about, I don't know whether these are vibrations or whether
Yes,
these are
they are
some,
vibrations.
whether these are something that we cannot clearly define. I don't know, but there is something to it, which I think that what you were alluding to, makes a big sense to me.
Right.
Yeah.
So with that intro, I'd like to invite you all to Peace Village, but not all at once. Come there and experience living in Peace Village just for a weekend, not longer, okay? We have to test you out first. But just to experience the vibrational fields of souls who are earnestly on this journey of perfection, journey of perfecting themselves, not by so much study and memorizing things, but by being the study, living the study.
I'll say that it's not the earnestness. It's the joy of it.
The vibration.
Yeah, what we get in that, because we're surrounded by a stability of love
Yes.
and stability of generosity of heart and God's vibration.
Yes.
And so those three things, when you, those not things, they're feelings, they're invisible, but they affect us. And so what happens is the joy comes out. You find yourself comfortable and
Mhm.
uplifted, and something happens that
Mhm.
it's just an ordinary thing, but you take pleasure from it. You take a feeling of affirmation that yes, that's how people should be. That's how I should think. But without the should, I shouldn't even have used that
Good.
word.
Good.
It's not like you have to be that way in order to
Good.
be okay. It's just that when the naturalness of God's energy affecting us, then something happens. It's a kind
And
of
this
magic.
this young man back here. Yes, I'm calling you a young man. You're welcome. The soul never ages. You aren't you the same that you were 16 at 16 years old? I mean, you are a little more mature, hopefully. I'll have to ask your someone who knows you.
A lot of people knows me here.
Okay.
As far vibration is concerned, I will take a moment. When there were no telephones or anything, we used to go early in the morning for a walk. We would always say Ram Ram or whatsoever. We would try to interact with each other, but not anymore.
No,
I went to the mall.
you're this.
Yeah.
You're walking, going up the escalator, doing this.
So people don't want that. They, if you disturb them, even my son, if he's on the computer and I tell him, just hold on. This is a time of the technology has taken over joy.
I agree. It's very true. So we are vibrational fields. We are vibrational fields. And so there was this study done in Framingham, Massachusetts, and it was a 50-year study, and it was subsidized by the United States government. And so what they did is they studied this whole village, Framingham. How many know this study? Few of you do. It's very interesting. 50 years, they would go in and they would interview everyone in the village, their health, their mental health, emotional health, physical health, everything. And they did that every year for 50 years. And they had gotten so much data from it. And they did it because they were interested in the heart and, heart prosperity for everyone. Why are so many people getting heart attacks, cardiovascular diseases? And so there were many studies after that because they collected all the material for 50 years. So many other scientists could study this material and pick out whatever they want from it. And some of these other scientists from the material found out that the way you feel about something not only affects everyone in your family that you live with, but even if you have a sister that's 300 miles away, it will affect her. Vibrationally, our thoughts go even to those we still know in India, right? How many of you think of your relatives, friends in India? Oh, come on. Yeah. And you're giving them these good vibes. Hopefully you're giving them good vibes, right? They even noticed that people who gained a lot of weight, their friends began to gain weight. Really, from in a different city. You can read the whole essay on it. And even if you gained weight, they gained weight. If you were depressed, they became depressed. Or if they were depressed, maybe that you caught that vibration. So every thought we have is so important. And I hope this inspires you, the truth of it, to ignite the fire of goodness that each one of you are, like a little baby. So good, right? You have a little baby. There was a little baby in the plane, and she was just the most adorable thing. And the parents were doting after her, and she was so sweet, very little. And I just looked at the parents and I said, which one of you is the happiest? It looks like you're having a contest of who's the happiest. But they were sharing that love. And this, to me, is what Festival of Lights is about. Deepavali, Diwali, Hanukkah, whatever you want to call it. It's about living the light, being the gift through our thoughts, words, actions, and one more word. What's the last word? Where's Brother Christian? He's in the sound room. Oh, he's hiding. So what would the other thing? Wouldn't be thoughts, words, and actions are important, but what other word underneath all of that is so important? Feelings. He's a feeling guy. He's a feeling guy. And you know what he told me? He told us in our conversation this afternoon is that he grew up in India and he had this knowledge in India. But when he came to America, in particular to Indianapolis, and he met Sarabhai. Yes, I'm telling a story on you. He said he saw a brother or a male, okay, who had feelings, who could express himself tenderly, gently, motherly. You come up here now. That's okay. And it inspired him. He didn't know he could feel that way too. It gave you permission, didn't it? We have to inspire each other. That's, huh? What? Yes, mutual admiration. So, but this is what life is about, that we smile at each other. We just don't hand the pen like, here you go. Thank you. But that, we become that, the gift. Even if someone doesn't smile back or they don't give you drishti back, you did it. And guess what? Your heart knows you did it. So you're affecting your own heart, right? And the well-being of your heart. Yes. Yes. Here's the microphone.
A lot of people, or some people, have a problem realizing that thoughts are energy, and the thoughts emit outside of ourselves. But I have an example that people that haven't grasped that concept will be able to understand it and believe it more. When you've walked into a room and two people have just finished arguing, but it's silent when you walk in, but you can feel it. Your thoughts and your emotions, your thoughts emit, they're not just in your head, they're outside too. And so,
That's grand. What's your name?
Jenny,
Jenny. That reminded me of another experiment that they did in Princeton University. It was the engineering department. Any engineers here? I thought so. The engineering department did it. And so what they did is they took 5 people and they sat them in a room and they said, we want you to send peace to the other side of the planet. And of course, being an engineer, they had to measure that vibration, the electromagnetic field around in that room. They left the room, then they said, go back in the room. Now we want you to do the same thing, but a little different. What we would like you to do is send peace to the other side of the world, the planet, but we want you first to feel that peace and send the feeling of peace to the other side of the world. Now, anyone who can guess how many times the second experiment was greater than the first, you will get $100 and Sarab will pay you. Is that okay, Sarab? God pays? I thought that was karma. So how much greater was it when we put feelings in it? How much greater? I'm asking you. Bolo. $1,000? Any other thoughts? That's not bad, but any other thoughts? 5,000 times greater. And I asked you earlier, I think, how many of you are parents? Maybe I didn't ask this group. Maybe it was the other. Okay. But when your child comes in front of you, or when your child was a child and came in front of you, oh, mommy, please, mommy. And you know that he really wants this or she really wants it is a big difference, isn't it? You feel them. Dipavali is about feeling, really awakening that spiritual light that each one of us have, that we become so hum about looking at our devices. You're not going to get drishti from your device. You give drishti and it comes back to you. First of all, by giving that loveful, joyful drishti, you're experiencing that every organ of your body, every cell is very happy and doing well. And then because whoever you gave drishti to, that's coming back to you. So it's double karmic account for your own body and coming back to you. So it's time to ignite the fire within, not to live the ordinary. That's why there's so much dis-ease. Dis-ease in the world, in the bodies, is dis-ease. So we have to fill it with love, peace, joy. You have any questions? Anyone? Question is, how can God help you? It's not that God goes up there and he's all help this one, and this one, not that one. But as we connect with God, we're connecting with this ocean of purity. He's our hero actor, right? And so we're taking that energy within ourselves. We're taking that purity within ourselves. We're taking the power of love, the power of peace within ourselves. But we have to make the connection. I always like to use, how many of you heard this saying? You have to fake it till you make it. One person? It's very English. Oh, he's learned how to raise his hand. I'm picking on you. I know. I guess that's why I'm picking on you. Okay. So there's a better way to phrase it. Okay. So when we're going to have a meditation, or you're going to have a meditation anytime, just don't say, oh God, help me with this and help me with that. No, it should be a loveful communication. Here I'm sitting, I'm connecting with the Supreme Soul, the Father of all souls, and really think about the exuberant feelings from that one thought, that I'm connecting with God and I'm receiving whatever He has to give me. So that the meditation becomes a meditation of feeling, a meditation, an aim, communication with the Supreme, a relationship with the Supreme. He's the hero actor, and He's making me that now. Many times when we're angry, the passion comes up. Why did you do that? You know you shouldn't have done that. To the kids, yes? But we have to bring the passion into the goodness in the world. When your child or grandchild does something, maybe it's not so significant, but it was still good. Praise, love, care. I think we might be able to have a meditation now. Is it okay? Is it time? You have to tell me, Sarabhai. He always says the same thing. Yes, sister, yes. Yes, sister, yes. Yes, sister, yes. Is that true? When we meditate, we like to keep the eyes open. Why would we like to keep the eyes open? Engineer? That's you. Yeah, we should see each other. But also the residual effects of our meditation goes into the subconscious. It'll go in anyway in the subconscious, but we also want it in the conscious part of who we are. Now, it may be difficult at first. What? Meditate with my eyes open? So, what I did when I started meditating after 17 years of meditating with my eyes closed and bumping into walls, what I did was I just closed my eyes partially, like I'm peeking out. And it really made me feel like I was inside, looking out, that I was on top of the top floor of this building, this clay pot called the body. So I invite you to do that. Keep your eyes open, even partially. I see you both. I saw you pick up your own. But it might look like my eyes are totally closed because they're kind of puffy. And so moving inside and seeing from the inside. I gaze downward, but leaving my eyes open. And I create a globe of love and peace. I am safe. I am with myself, my real self. And all I have to do is observe, watch, and feel. I observe how I feel. I feel good. I feel lovely. And we emit a beautiful spiritual fragrance in the atmosphere. Through our heart, through our drishti, through every cell of the body. I'm just being me, but I'm being aware of my soulfulness, of being me. This is magnanimous seva that we do to our world, to ourselves, to our body, to our families, to our world. Now, sometimes there are challenges
in our life. Someone challenges us, and we don't feel so good. I'm going to ask you a question, but you don't have to answer or raise your hand. It's just for the you inside, the one who's peering out from the windows of the soul. Can you think of someone from your past or from the present moment in your life that you feel a little unsettled about, a little bitterness? Let's all think of that person and not only send him love, but just loving him or her, feeling these fine feelings inside and sending them, covering that soul with true love, and act it, and you will attract it, and you become healthier. Yes, happier. Because even before that vibration reaches that one, it's already cleansed you. It's always made you at a higher vibration. Now, sometimes someone might say, but it's hard to think of that one when they did this. But you know, everyone that we have a hard time with, there was a time that they were at their best. And I want you to bring that best when you knew them at their best and think about that. Let's do that for the next few moments. Think of someone challenging you. You are the hero actor. You take the first step to goodness. Do it again. And again. And again. And it will become authentic. And you will be a powerful soul, filled with clarity, love, purity, peace, and health. Shanti. How many of you did that little exercise of someone that you are disgruntled with in one way or another, and were able to muster up the power to send them love. Who was able to do that? How did you feel?
It's very good. It took a while for me to be able to find someone because I've been on this process of releasing everybody from everything.
Beautiful.
So it was hard to find someone. I was like, oh, there's someone.
That's good.
And I just put them in the group with all the other ones that I just love unconditionally.
Okay. Anyone else? Anyone else? Engineer over here.
Yeah, someone close.
Did you give him Drishti back that he gave you
Well, I'm
when he passed you the mic?
he didn't look at me.
Yes, he did. Didn't you? Oh, okay. Missed an opportunity.
I'll look at you now.
Love it.
No, it's a family member which we've lost contact with for various reasons, and we just haven't found a way to communicate. So that's right.
And that's communication.
Mm.
So just a quick personal story. There was a time my father did something that was not honest with me. And I just thought, how can a father betray their own child? That's unforgivable. And then I thought, well, I had cancer at the time. This was a long time ago. And I read a book and it said that most hidden resentments, cancer comes from hidden resentments. I said, well, I don't want to die. As the doctors say, I was going to die. And so I had to clear that. So I was going to give my father love. And this is the truth. And this is how it looked like. I didn't do it just one night. No, every day, every day, every day. So I started out, I do. So the soul's eternally useful. So I sent him love. I just said, okay, here's love. Okay, I'm going to give him love, even though he doesn't deserve it. Love. There's love. And every day I sat and I practiced giving him love. And eventually it came to be real love. We have to practice loving again. We have to practice loving again because each and every one of you is a hero actor. And I do love that soul that played the part of my father. And I remember the times when he used to lift us in the air. On our feet, he would just pick us up. I was a lot smaller then. And it's just wonderful. And it's a wonderful way to live. It's not only a wonderful way to live, it is the only way to live. It's the only way. Yes. You want the mic? Where's the mic? Oh. Yes. Yes.
That sanskar, what we say, that's the neural pathway.
Yes.
That pathway is becoming activated. And the more we are practicing forgiving that XYZ, now forgiveness is becoming the nature. Because that pathway is
The other pathway will always be there, but it won't be dominant. Neuroscience. It is amazing. Thank you for sharing. You have a tool that people can use. Okay, what is it? Where's, pass the mic forward, just, you can just pass it.
If there's someone in particular that you're having a difficult time giving that love to, you can picture that person as your child. And that'll make it easier for you to start that practice. I use that on my ex-business partner.
Okay, you must have a lot of children. It's just, I like that, really. But I'm a drama queen, so I'm going to show you a little act now. So what happens? Someone hurts you terribly, right? And have any of you been hurt terribly and you felt like you were stabbed in the heart? Yes? Anyone here ever felt that way? Yes? Bolo. Say, do this or this. Sometimes. Okay. So what happens? We take that knife out of our heart. It was so bad. And what do? We think about it again and again and again. Is that absurd? That's more than absurd. You know what you're doing to yourself? You're making yourself sick and tired. Sick and tired. They say there's mystical scientists now. And what they're saying is their electromagnetic field around each and every one of us. And if we constantly replace our thoughts, our feelings with virtues and values and goodness, that's going into our electromagnetic field. And I believe this 1000%. And that field is what's keeping us physically healthy. Now you think about the people who have the most diseases and their mindsets and judge for yourself. Om Shanti. Sarabai. Aye. What are we doing now? I'm finished, right? Om Shanti.
Thank you so much, Sister Dorothy. That was so, so beautiful. So many new things to learn. One thing that I really learned, I think, in your meditation, when you said that emerge their perfect form, when, they were actually at their best. I thought that was really,
When they were at their best, usually the people we're upset with, we were friends with when they were at their best. We never get mad or angry at someone we don't know, a stranger. It was always a friend that became an enemy.
thank you. So let us all thank Sister Dorothy again. And would also like to welcome our dear Sister Irene. Sister Irene has flown all the way from Peace Village to be with us. Sister Irene, can you please come here and share a few words with us? Uh, aram se, aram se. We'll get a flower. A flower. Mm, mm. Uh-huh. Let us welcome Sister Irene. Thank you so much. Sister Irene has been here before a few years back, few times. Sister Irene is a psychotherapist by profession. And in Boston, that's where she practiced. And now she's based at Peace Village. She facilitates a lot of retreats there and manages a lot of behind the scenes activities. And I've always seen Sister Irene as like a tireless server. Like she'll always, be there, going around, moving around, and doing everything behind the scenes, holding the fort for many, many decades now, I believe. And someone who is very gentle, very deep, and someone who kind of knows the depth of spirituality. So would like to also welcome and hear a few words from Sister.
Thank you, Saurabh. And Saurabh is pretty deep and knowledgeable himself. We've had many good conversations, but this has been a good conversation. Do you feel more activated and ready to learn more just from what Sister Dorothy's been telling us? She's very good. And so I kept chiming in a couple of times. Couldn't help myself, but we know each other very well, so I think I must be okay. So, but really, it's an honor and a privilege to be in this kind of a gathering where everybody's sort of tuning in and tuning up and tuning through this part of a part of this, the whole package. It's a package deal we have. We all have these bodies, but this is the part where our uniqueness is, where there was a secret hero actor that's there all the time, but we haven't activated it as much as we could. And God has come to activate this potential, this spark of total unique respect and self-love. Because that's what God knows we need, because this is a world that does not profit from such a thing. It's a private thing. How many of you have been in the Merle classes that we have here? How many have you? Yeah, one. Okay, even one. Because God is the most ancient psychotherapist who's tuned in on who we really are, not who we think we are, or even that others think we are. Each one of us is a precious jewel of potential. I don't just mean the potential that, that your teacher told you could learn that faster, do it this way. No, but the part that, and Dorothy, you did a really nice job of talking about how it is that the hero actor, you told us 10 different things about hero actors tonight. And they're good things because all of us have much more power and love than we realize. And what Raja Yoga meditation does is it starts to light up something. Maybe you think it's here, or maybe you think you hear better, or maybe you have good thoughts, but it's deeper than that, because the soul is the most ancient part of ourselves. Once I accepted the fact that I was only going to be in this body for a certain number of years, and that I had other lifetimes before. I didn't get into that, what I needed to know what I had done before, but just the fact that then this whole lifetime is a certain kind of learning I'm learning. And then at some point, it's like you drive a car, an old car, and then it gets to be too old, you can't drive it anymore. And so the body's like that. And so then maybe you sit with God and at night and say, could I have a Mercedes Benz next time for a body? I mean, I have this old Camry car and I want something that's really, really cool. And so somehow we would say that what I'm doing now, it's not, I'm not feeling successful. I'm not feeling loving of myself. Could you help me out, God? I mean, I just feel like, could I just start over? But of course, it's not quite like that. You still have to go through the process. But to actually believe that the most powerful and practical and beneficial and noble and loving part of yourself is here. We do use this as our symbol of love and respect and that kind of stuff, but really this invisible, infinitesimal place inside ourselves, which is the place that God connects with us and that we can connect with him. Because all the rest of it is distracting and temporary. But if I know, and I think you did express it, Dorothy Ben, that we all are hero actors, or we have the potential to be hero actors. And that a hero actor doesn't just take sides. A hero actor doesn't try to be the big shot all the time. A hero actor is someone that reads the situation, measures it in a general way about what's going on here, and then gives love, no matter what it looks like they're doing. Because nobody would act the way that people act if they had a sense of love and self-respect. Everyone we know that has been a thorn in our side or in our relationships, they're that way because they don't love and respect themselves. And so God knows each one of us power and our strength and our value. And so that connection that we make, each one of us does it in our own way, but to believe that there is someone that knows me better than I know myself, and knows me better than I ever could know myself. And therefore, let me slow down and listen. Let me listen to them early. We have a class every morning that's called them early, and the same class is being read in all over the world, in Chinese, in English, in every language you can think of, in every situation where people are sitting together and they have a poor house and their neighbors come and sit with them, or otherwise it's in some place what much more grand, or someplace like this, which is wonderful. This is a house, but what we're hearing is how God knows us better than we know ourselves, and loves us better than we love ourselves, and sees that we have the potential to be more a true-hearted hero actor, which no one else might ever need to know. I might not even call it that, but if I just sort of tune in on a wavelength of love and respect for someone that I'm talking with, that will, as Sister Dorothy was saying, it'll open them up. Was there something I was? Okay. So when you use the image of a hero actor, and most of us would say, oh no, I'm not that. I mean, I just do my part, I'm this, I'm that. I try. But when we are connected with the pure love and respect that God has for us, he's our Father. He's our teacher. He's our guide, and the one that I can go and talk to. And you could develop something of a kind of trust that you didn't have before for yourself, or that anybody could talk to you that way. How could someone tell me I'm good when I know I just made a mess of it, right? So it's simple, keeping it very simple. So I am not going to say much more except to say that when I was a practicing psychotherapist, I didn't have these tools, these ways of being able to speak. But towards the end of my time in that profession, I started doing something. I'd be sitting with someone and he or she would be sitting there and they'd be saying the same story again. Poor me, or that one did that. And I tried all my methods to get that person to let go of that stuff because it was a bunch of hurt and pain and junk, and they were still on it. And so I started, their eyes are closed, and I'm sitting there. I started, first I just did it in my imagination, but it was like I look up and say, can you help? I literally came to realize I was asking God for help, that I done the best I could, and now what? And sometimes I would get a little, a thought would come in like, remember that he's has told you this. And I say, oh, okay, well then maybe that's a clue. This one, wants to open up but can't. But he told me something. And so let me just rephrase what I would have said and put it in the context of this more compassionate way, a more empowering way for this one to think of himself or herself. And it changed the whole way that I did that I spent time with people doing this kind of stuff. It was very different. But then it was only then that I started realizing, wait a second, I'm asking, I'm getting something back that's been useful. So maybe it could be God. Because I hadn't been so inclined in that direction before, but I started to feel this strength of pull. And I think it was a chance for my hero actor to start listening differently and therefore being more of a hero actor. And that was how I was doing my work. But as far as this fine tunement on the beauty and purity and strength of character in everyone that I was sitting with, just tune in on that. And so that's what I do now, and as my work at Peace Village, but also in my wherever I am, just a kind of a simple, clear love and respect. And so, but meditating, sitting with, and tuning in, you can really, you have your own information inside that can be useful, and you can, in your own way of defining self-respect for yourself, not what they told you, but what you've come to feel is a strength that you have that you didn't realize before. Those kinds of things of strengthening ourselves. So I don't know how many of you have been doing meditation the way that Brother Sarab has been teaching it, but it becomes a very individual, personal, whatever kind of and the way that you're learning will be differently. Someone else would say, well, when I finally felt I could meditate, it was because of this. And you'd say, well, that sounds good. But for me, it was when all of a sudden this one conversation I had gave me a clue. And then, so each one of us is, it's like a discovery. It's like a discovery of one's own unique individual value and contribution to the world that can be strengthened in various ways. But this form of meditation is one of the ways that seems to hold the most promise, because then you can have these conversations that you were saying, how you can tune in on and give someone, just give them the love, and it sort of it wipes away some of the yuck we have. That's a clinical term, yuck. So that's enough for me right now, but I'm really glad to be here and see so many of you here. Yes, and when I was a kid, I lived in Bloomington, Indiana for about 2 years because my father had just finished grad school and was going to be a professor of history at one of the universities. I don't know which one it was because I was only about 8 or 9. But so somewhere in Bloomington, it wasn't Bloomington, it was South Bend. That's where it was, which I haven't been back to since. But anyway, so that's the last time I was in there. But back in those days, I already was kind of watching people and saying, why do they have to act like that? What couldn't she just say I'm sorry? Or whatever it was. I think the reason I became a psychotherapist is because I like to look at people and try to understand them, knowing that they're not all the same, that each one is unique, but what can I learn about why this is happening in front of me? And when you're a kid, and sometimes you can do it easier because they don't expect you to contribute at all. You're just a listener, right? Have you ever had those conversations? You're listening and saying, ooh. So, but anyway, so I feel glad to come back to my childhood past, and my present and my future will be with Brahma Kumaris. Om Shanti.